I still remember the exact moment everything fell apart. The hall was alive with light, music thumping, and laughter spilling from every corner. Yet in that chaos, my world seemed to crumble into silence. My daughter, Lily, approached me with a rigid smile, the kind forced when someone else is steering your actions. Behind her, Cassandra lingered, her eyes sharp, masking a storm beneath a carefully painted calm. "Mom, we need to talk," Lily murmured, but there was an edge to her voice that made my chest tighten. Before I could respond, she repeated it louder, strong enough to catch the attention of the entire room. "Please leave," Cassandra said softly. "Your presence is disruptive." For a heartbeat, everything stopped. My hands went numb, but my pride kept me upright. I didn't argue. I didn't plead. I simply gathered my purse, nodded, and walked out. No one intervened. Not Lily, the girl I had raised on my own after her father passed. Driving back to the farmhouse, no tears came, only a heavy, chilling quiet in my chest. The keys around my neck clinked softly, reminders of my role, my history, and the responsibility I still carried. They were more than keys, they were a legacy. That night, as I removed my emerald dress and folded it with trembling hands, a single thought echoed inside me. If my own child could push me aside so easily, what else might they do? I didn't yet know that morning would reveal something far worse than humiliation. Before the sun had warmed the windows, my phone buzzed. Lily's name lit up the screen like a warning. I hesitated, wondering if she felt remorse or if she was simply rehearsing another performance with Cassandra. When I answered, her voice sounded calm, almost detached, but there was a coldness beneath the surface. "Mom, can you come to the farmhouse? We need to talk. It's important." I stayed silent, not out of unwillingness, but because I suddenly felt unsure of the child I thought I knew. 4 years, the farmhouse had been our shared world, fixing fences together, sipping morning coffee, navigating grief hand in hand. She used to tell me everything. But since Cassandra appeared, it was as though a stranger had borrowed her face. I brewed coffee to steady my nerves, yet the quiet of the house felt heavier than usual. Walking through the hall, I traced my fingers over old frames. Lily riding her first horse, my late husband cradling newborn Lily, my parents standing beneath the oak trees they planted decades ago. These walls held generations. And now, someone wanted to turn them into a conquest. By midday, I convinced myself to try again, to be the bigger person. I called Lily and invited her and Cassandra for dinner. A fresh start, I told myself, though a whisper of doubt lingered. If a wedding could fracture us, what might dinner reveal? I had no idea that evening would bring something far more dangerous than tension. The house smelled of memories by the time the sun dipped low. Slow-cooked chicken, fresh bread, and apple pie cooling on the counter. I spread the old embroidered tablecloth my mother had sewn by hand. Every detail mattered, not for Cassandra but for Lily, the daughter I once knew. At precisely 7:05, headlights cut through the window. My heart skipped, the same way it had when Lily returned from college. But the moment they stepped inside, something felt off. Lily appeared polished, almost unnatural, and Cassandra's tight-lipped smile didn't belong to these rustic halls. Her gaze swept across the room, not in awe, but in calculation. We sat down to eat. Lily closed her eyes, savoring the food. "Mom, no one cooks like you," she whispered. For a fleeting second she was my child again. But Cassandra tasted her plate and gently pushed it aside. "It's good," she said, "but I can't handle too much seasoning. My stomach is sensitive." The words weren't cruel, but they cut deeper than I expected. I apologized anyway. Mothers do that, even when they shouldn't. After some polite conversation, Cassandra excused herself to the restroom. Minutes passed, and more. A gnawing unease crept through me. Something wasn't right. I followed the faint sound of a camera shutter to the study, a room locked since my husband died. The door, slightly ajar, had never been left that way. Pushing it open, I saw Cassandra standing by the old wooden desk, snapping photos of drawers, shelves, even the hidden safe behind a painting. She wasn't admiring, She was collecting evidence, searching for weaknesses. Cassandra froze as I entered. Panic flickered across her face before she plastered on a polite smile. "Oh, Victoria, you startled me. I was just admiring the room. So vintage. Usually this room is locked," I said softly. She glanced at the door too quickly. "I thought it was okay," she replied, hiding the tremor in her fingers. We returned to the dining room, pretending nothing had happened. Lily laughed about repainting the farmhouse, but my mind remained in that study. After they left, I examined the desk. One envelope, the one my husband had instructed me to open only if the ranch was threatened, was gone. My stomach turned. Cassandra hadn't just wandered in. She came with intent. The next morning, Mr. Lawson, our family lawyer, arrived. "Victoria, we need to talk," he said, his face taut with concern. I showed him the empty drawer. He didn't look shocked, only resigned. "Your husband foresaw this," he whispered. "He knew someone might try to manipulate the law." Felt a chill. Manipulate the law. If they can convince the authorities you're incapable, they could seize guardianship of the ranch, he explained. Lily wouldn't, but Cassandra knows exactly which strings to pull. The truth hit harder than the humiliation the night before. This wasn't about weddings or etiquette. It was about control, about the keys around my neck and the land 4 generations had built. A quiet, unshakable resolve settled over me. That night, I sat on the porch, keys in hand, listening to the land my family had protected for over a century. The moon illuminated the fences and oak trees planted by my father. If Cassandra wanted war and Lily blindly followed, I would fight, not with anger but with truth and patience. By sunrise, I met Mr. Lawson and revised everything. The ranch would remain under my care, passing to Lily only if she proved over 10 years that she valued it beyond money. Cassandra would inherit nothing. Weeks passed. Silence stretched between Lily and me, unbroken, until one winter morning the doorbell rang. It was her, tired, humbled, and alone. "Mom, I'm sorry," she whispered, collapsing into my arms. She had lost almost everything Cassandra had promised her. But she returned with the one thing I had always wanted: understanding. Sometimes life doesn't serve revenge. It restores balance. And the land always remembers who belongs.